once you got out of the glider,
Yeah.
where did you spend your? Were you by the bridge or were you further?
No. We were 6 miles away from it. I never saw the bridge
So
until.
were you at
Yeah.
was it Ostrom? It was the big box.
No, we landed at a place, landed zone S Sierra, which was in Wolfhazer, and most of the gliders landed on Sierra or Zulu. They were landing. That was the designation of landing field, because remember, a group of parachutists went in ahead of us and laid down markers for us, so that we knew that we were to land from east to west, which is what I did basically. And these gliders had jolly good strong undercarriages. They had wheel brakes operated, as were the flaps, by compressed air. We all carried a compressed air bottle in the glider, and that was sufficient. They told us, not that we ever practiced it, but that was sufficient to operate the flaps fully. And you could either have half flap or full flap, and the rate of descent of the glider, of the Horsa glider, was, it lost height at 300 feet a minute in order to keep flying, in order to have sufficient flying speed, which would probably be 80 miles an hour with a fully loaded glider, 85 miles an hour. That's normal flying speed. But with full flap, you descended at 3,000 feet a minute. 3,000 feet a minute is 60 miles an hour. So you were coming down virtually at 45 degrees angle, and of course the essential thing was to pull the stick back at the last moment. Otherwise, you'd sink the nose in, which was a very, very unhealthy thing to do. I let, with knowing I got wheel brakes and everything, I just let it run. I didn't have any communication with the towing aircraft for the whole of the 3.5 hours, because those the communication between the tug and the glider was by cable, which was stretched through the tow ropes, and of course, what the nylon tow ropes do? They stretch, and so the communication would be bust. And I never had any communication with the tug, but I'd been so well briefed that I recognized the field before we got there. We were flying at 2,500 feet, which is half a mile up, and well, basically I knew where to go, and there were a few people ahead of me anyway, and I didn't manage to, but I avoided hitting anything. I let it run to the left-hand end of the field, so that they would get out their hand carts with the minimum chance of being shot at. And literally, it was quiet for half an hour, and then it got noisier and noisier.
Super, thank you for that.